it was kind of easy to get into that situation. And we shared stories too on set, on our downtime. We shared stories of our history with abuse and
Oh, wow.
people in our lives who've been, problematic or troublesome in some sort of way, and how you have to escape it.
Thank you. Nice show. Very nice
Yeah.
show that you have.
Thank you.
I would love to know what your journey to Minnesota looked like, because I feel like any actor would want to be in Fargo, but how did you get there?
It started with a list of TV shows that I wanted to watch, and I don't know if that's the universe making its way into my notes on my iPhone, but I had a list of different shows that I wanted to watch, and I'd already started watching Fargo. I was on second season, I want to say, when I got a call about being on the show, and it was a no-brainer. It was like, what? Absolutely. You want me to be an extra? I'll do it. You want me to, you want me to just work on the show? I'll be a writer's assistant. I don't care. Because you learn a lot even when you're off camera, you're learning so much. The entire crew, they're all so skilled at what they do. Every department and so you kind of, it's like a learning lesson. So for me, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I'm definitely going to be on the show, and thank you.
Deputy Whitfar is, I guess, the embodiment of Minnesota nice. How do you become that? How do you become one with that concept?
Honestly, I'm from the Midwest already, so there is a level of, Minnesota. They can't have the complete claim to being nice and kind. I'm gonna share that a little bit with us Chicagoans as well. So I definitely have already had a lot of that. There is a Midwestern hospitality that folks have. So when I was getting into the character, it honestly, I was pulling from people I knew a little bit, some of my own experiences, obviously, and then just what the script is given. So it was kind of, I'm known as a nice guy, I guess. So it's kind of, I think they did a good job casting.
I mean, you're very believable as a nice guy. Hopefully that's the case.
In real life, I am a piece of shit.
I love the kinship that Wit seems to feel for Dot immediately given her actions, even though she's in a very weird situation that could easily be taken the wrong way. He seems to have her back. Can you talk about that kind of dynamic, even though most of it is from afar?
What was interesting about it was that the moment I read it, I just immediately thought of the women in my life who've shared stories of abuse, and I grew up around it as a kid. So it's not fun. It's a very, very scary thing to be, even as a witness to it. As a bystander, you're still, it's very frightening. And so imagine being the woman in that particular predicament. So when I read it, I immediately thought, okay, I know how to dive into this as an outsider trying to help someone who's involved in a situation like this. And Juno is, I don't want to say I'll say the most intense actor I've ever worked with. She's so fun on set and playful. And then when you're in the scene with her, you don't feel like you're talking to Juno. You feel like you're talking to Dot. And she makes sure that she's keeping that intensity up, not just for her own purposes, but for your purposes. She's definitely helping out her castmates with her performances, and even off camera, she's still in that mode, and it was awesome. It was definitely helpful for me. So yeah, it was easy. It was kind of easy to get into that situation, and we shared stories too on set. On our downtime, we shared stories of our history with abuse and people in our lives who've been, problematic or troublesome in some sort of way, and how you have to escape it. So we hit it off pretty good. Yeah.
From where I'm sitting, Noah Hawley is obviously a genius. But what is he like as a collaborator, colleague, when you're building this story and character?
He's great. He's a cool thing about him is that he's not one of as I've worked with some directors before who try to, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You never know, but micro manage a performance. And Noah is of the mind that I hired the right people. So, I trust your instincts. And if you go off the path, if you go off the Fargo way, then we will lead you back to righteousness. And so he did a great job of kind of giving you little looks. He's a man of few words, I will say that. But if you're off the path, he'll let you know for sure. And like if you watch every season, it just fits. You know what I mean? Even as silly as Key and Peele being in the first season, as silly as they are, it fits. You have a level of characters that are playing high status, low status. Some are playing highbrow, some are playing lowbrow in the same show. And then you're watching the puzzle get put together, and that's Noah and his collaborators. So working with him has been great.
And then finally, I'm always hearing just like the low buzz of possibility of a New Girl revival. I loved you as Winston. Is it something you'd be on board for? And how do you think Winston's doing now?
It's one of those shows that, because of streaming, I will say it took on new legs and a different fan base, and people will continue. It will continue to resonate with fans. People will always be able to identify with the dynamic of this group of friends. And it's just funny. So for me, I want to keep servicing the fans. Whenever the fans want something, that that if I'm available for, I'd love to. If we can do another season, that would be awesome. Jake Johnson doesn't charge that much, so he won't be too expensive. Everybody else is fair. He might be the one that you gotta grease the old palms a little bit, but the rest of us, we're fair to our fans and to our employers. But Winston right now, I think Winston is wit far. I think he's.
I love Winston,
that. Winston's had enough of the silliness, and he wanted to go off the grid once Allie left him and took the kids.
Oh, there you go. This is the unified. There we go. The multiverses collided. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You are fabulous, and I cannot wait to finish this season. So
are you. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye. Have a great day.